This morning, the Environmental Protection Agency is out with a new warning about the safety of our drinking water. The EPA issuing an urgent alert over heightened cybersecurity threats to the nation's water utilities, especially in small communities. NBC's Ryan Nobles is following this one for us. So, Ryan, good morning to you. First of all, how significant of a warning is this?
Yeah, Greg, good morning. It is a very concerning one. The agency says that more than 70% of the water systems they inspected do not comply with requirements of the Safe Drinking Water Act and violate standards designed to prevent breaches or intrusions. Some have critical cybersecurity vulnerabilities, and they say that these threats and attacks have been increasing in number and severity. And it is an especially big problem for small town water systems, which present an inviting opportunity for bad actors to attack weakly protected infrastructure. Now, systems in bigger cities tend to have more robust cyber protection systems, and the EPA says that it also plans to step up inspections nationwide and is recommending a variety of security measures, including changing default passwords, developing risk assessment plans, and setting up backup systems. Craig?
Ryan, 70% significant. Any idea at this point who might be behind these cyber attacks?
Yeah, the EPA has identified China, Russia, and Iran as the main culprits trying to disable critical infrastructure, including water systems. And it's happened quite frequently. Back in January, the small town of Muleshoe, Texas, was a victim of a Russian-related hacking, leading to tens of thousands of gallons of water spilling into the streets. But thankfully, the water supply itself wasn't damaged. And the city manager of a nearby small town reported that there were 37,000 attempts in just 4 days to get past their firewall. That forced the city, Craig, to unplug. Craig?
Ryan Nobles for us there in Washington. Ryan, thank you.
All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That is to say, in the Paleo Hebrew, also known as Allah Shawan Kodash, Yahweh, the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man. Okay, now I'm going to play several videos, and the first one that was played was the video pertaining to cybersecurity targeting U.S. infrastructures, particularly the water. Okay, and as you see, there's a heightened threat of cyber attacks that's, posed to threaten the U.S. water supply. Okay. And this is all going to tie in, all right, because you're going to see, Esau Edom is getting prepared for something, okay? He's preparing for something, okay? Now, what it is, we just speculated, but we do know he's going to bring about some type of chaos in order to bring forth his crown jewel, okay? And attacking the water supply is very crucial to a society, okay? Because if you cut off the water supply, then the people are left to come to you for whatever it is that they want and whatever it is that they need, whether it's food or water or what have you, okay? So if he shuts down the water supply and, people are going crazy to get water, then that could pretty much cause a complete and utter chaos, okay? So just be on the lookout, all right? Now, this is Fortune, and it reads, Chinese, Iranian, and Russian gangs are attacking U.S. drinking water, and officials are alarmed, okay? And that's what we played in the first video, okay? There are cause of concerns about the infrastructure being under attack with these cybersecurities, okay? And these are rumors of wars, okay? It don't have to be on the battlefield per se. You could have war over the cyber, okay? Over securing, secure cyber, encryptions, okay? So it doesn't have to necessarily be a war in the sense that it's on a battlefield. It could be a war over the digital world, okay? So we are hearing wars and rumors of wars. Now, this is an article from Fortune, and it goes on to read about what we just seen on that one video clip. Excuse me. It says cyber attacks against water utilities across the country are becoming more frequent and more severe. Okay, the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, warned Monday as it issued an enforcement alert urging water systems to take immediate actions to protect the nation's drinking water. Right. If they, man, hey, if Esau Edom decides to shut it down and cut off the water supply, you know how many people, it said 70%, but it's probably more like 90% of the people here in America rely on the water supply. Not too many people have their own wells that they can go to, okay? So if Esau, especially in the cities, you see, in the cities, that's where he's really looking to do his damage, okay? He's looking to bring the damage, the bulk of his, chaos to these cities. The bigger the cities are, the bigger the chaos is going to ensue, okay? Slakia. So attacking the water supply through cybersecurity in these bigger cities is going to be profound, okay? Because people can't get their drinking water, not necessarily bathing water, because you can go a couple of days without taking a shower, but see how long you can go without drinking clean, fresh water, okay? And most people don't know what it takes to, filter out water outside of just boiling it on top of the stove, okay? So, Esau Edom has set the perfect conditions for a society such as this that relies solely on him to take away some of the necessities, such as water. Water being the main necessity you need for life, okay? And the people going to go crazy. Just remember back in 2020, the toilet tissue scare, the water scare, okay? This time it's going to be for real when he shut it down, okay? And we're going to go into it because essentially that's what he's looking forward to doing so he can bring forth his, his troops that he's already putting in place here in these major cities. And we got a video on that as well. So this article goes on to read, well, I guess they shut it down, but they allowed me to read it before, but now they done shut it down. So I guess he's hurt. But yeah, hey, this man is getting ready to bring forth, his agenda. So he's looking to bring forth chaos. Now let's get a scripture on this, and then we're going to go and check out another video. All right, we in the book of St. Matthew 24, and we're gonna just jump down to the verse 6. It says, "And ye should hear of wars and rumors of wars." Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be about the battlefield, although those are still taking place right now. But this war is the war of the cybersecurity. Okay, the war of the infrastructure of this kingdom, this society. Okay. Babylon the Great, America, its water supply, all right? And who are they claiming to be the culprits, okay? Russia, Iran, and China. No big surprise, okay? The three that is, going to be a major factor in this place going down, which is America, Babylon the Great. So they've already set the stage to put the blame on them, okay? Now, they're not outright claiming it's them, but they saying it's gangs that's related to those three, okay? So they already setting the stage for this, okay? Now this is Luke 8 and 17. It reads, "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that should not be known and come abroad." So you seeing the stage being set right now so that you don't get caught off guard, because make no mistake about it, there will be something that's catastrophic, such as the water supply being attacked or some type of outage or something that's going to justify him to where he can bring forth this new, this new agenda, this new world, okay? So make no mistake about it, all right? But we are seeing the pieces being put into place as we currently sit, okay, and wait, all right? So make no mistake about it. He's coming, okay? He's putting it out there for you to, digest and get familiar with what? seeing these things come on a more frequent, regularity, okay? You're hearing about wars and rumors of war. So now you what? You desensitized to it, to the fact that you don't even have your guard up, okay? You're not looking for it. And when you're not looking, that's when he's going to come when you least expecting it. Because you're hearing so much this and so much that, but you don't see anything. Okay, till one day you see these troops coming in your town, your city, shutting off stuff, giving you water, bringing you food supplies and what have you, and now it's going to be too late. Okay, so it says, for nothing is secret that should not be made manifest. Anything hid that should not be known to come abroad. Okay, now with that being said, we're going to play the next video, which is kind of lengthy, so I'm going to interject in between, and it's pertaining to these troops that's already here. Okay, and we're going to play it. It's from the YouTube channel Redacted. All right, so hold tight while I pull this up.
Well, does the United Nations have a secret army of illegal immigrants already embedded in America for a hostile takeover? That's quite a loaded question. Let's leave that question actually dangling out there for a minute, if you will. But we're deep diving into one of the most pressing issues facing the United States of America right now, the southern border crisis. And we've got some shocking new details that are, frankly, mind-blowing. Which we'll get to here in a moment. Now, as we've exposed here on the show before, the federal government seems to be complicit in a massive criminal operation, deliberately flooding the country with unvetted illegal foreigners, distributing them all over the United States. It's a full-on operation, as our friend J.J. Carroll has uncovered here, Michael Yon has spoken about on our show, Anthony Rubin from Muckraker, unbelievable journalists doing amazing work. This is what's happening. Giving them cell phones, giving them homes, giving them financial monthly payments to live. One piece of this appears to be election fraud, right?
You see, and this is all causing division amongst the people, okay? This right here is what the elite want. The elite wants to have chaos to ensue. He wants division, okay? He wants, separation amongst the people, okay? This is all by design. Make no mistake about it, okay? And we're going to go and see as the video goes on. It's going to show you that.
But as journalist Greg Reese points out, it's actually much worse than that, because what's happening in the United States is not an isolated incident. It's happening all across Europe. Europeans are waking up to this fact. On today's show, an overwhelming number of Europeans say illegal immigration is destroying their country. Take a look at these new numbers. New survey, 7 in 10 Europeans.
You see the division? You see how Esau Edom is allowing the downfall to take place right before your own eyes? How he's causing the division, the setup. So when this thing happens, it's going to be a civil unrest. Every man for theirself, okay? Now, it's happening here in America, but it's also taking place throughout Europe, okay? Showing you that, this is all tied in together, okay? You got prophecies that are lining up right now that's getting ready to take place. You got to be able to see these things, okay? These are the warnings that we're giving you to be on the lookout for, all right? Because once this word is removed, you're going to be left on your own, okay? You're not going to be able to get these warnings like this, okay? It's going to be whatever you have obtained during this mercy is what you're going to have to rely on when the lights go out here, in Babylon the Great, okay? Once they pull the plug on this truth, it's going to be whatever you were able to acquire in this grace period, okay?
Believe that their country is accepting too many migrants. Look at that. Greece, 90% of citizens say yes. Cyprus, no, they're all over like 70%. All of them saying way too many migrants.
And the few that are reporting no work for the government.
Right.
And probably are not allowed to answer that honestly.
Interesting. I think if you go down the list, if you go even further down the list, you'll see like Portugal, you'll see some other countries in there, like 50%, but like almost overwhelmingly 70% at the least, like average there. We now have new evidence this is all part of a George Soros and United Nations plan called population division. Now, the population division of the Department of Economic and Social Affairs as the United Nations writes, conducts demographic research, supports intergovernmental processes at the United Nations in the area of population and development, and assists countries in developing their capacity to produce and analyze population data and information. So it's a solution they propose for dealing with declining and aging populations, which most of the West is dealing with right now. I mean, look at Japan. Well, it's East, but Western aligned countries, I should say. But now, the recent events unfolding, it's clear that there's more to this story. So back in 2015, George Soros published his plan, which has now been implemented across the globe to bring millions of illegals into the United States and into Europe. As Hungary's leader, Viktor Orban, recently pointed out, Soros did this by buying off members of parliaments in country after country after country. This wasn't done by happenstance. When George Soros would buy them off, they would then align with his policies for mass illegal migration into those countries. Listen to Victor.
Now, George Soros, he is behind groups like the BLM, the Black Lives Matter movement. Okay, so this is another one of those individuals. All right, they all are in cahoots. Okay, they all are in cahoots in the sense that they have their hand in this thing that's getting ready to take place, okay? And it's ones that you don't know of. That's, in the dark. But like we read in St. Luke 8:17, for nothing is secret that should not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known to come abroad. So all their works are coming to the light in these last days, you see. They can't no longer hide in the dark behind, movements like the BLM and put faces, of people that look like us in these positions, okay? Their names are coming out. They're being revealed more and more. And now we're seeing exactly just who they are and what they have in store for this society, okay? Now, Soros, he's not the main, but he's one of the main ones, okay? They have all these secret councils that they, plan these type of things in these think tanks, and this is what they do, okay? They sit and they devise these type of mischief, okay? They devise mischief and their forwardness, okay? This is what they do. This is how they get down, okay? And it's more of them like this, okay? This is just the ones that they allow you to see in the open, such as the Soros, the Claws, the Claws of the WEF, and so on and so forth. All of them, okay? They whole kingdom, all right? And it's getting ready to come to an end. So that's why they bringing forth all this, because they have nothing to lose at this point in time. So let's go ahead and let the video play.
Remember how Mr. George Soros published his plan in English in the Project Syndicate publication. It was done 2015, September 26th. And he published a plan. He said that I'm quoting, he write the 6 components of my comprehensive plan. Just quote 2 or 3 points of that. First is, he said very clearly, 2015, that, quoting again, EU has to accept at least 1 million asylum seekers annually. That was the first point.
This was back in 2015 he had this, okay? And it's 2024. So you see how long he had this in the work. You see how long they had these things in the work. This is what they do in those secret councils, okay? That's why we have to pray to the Most High. He hides us from, the workers of iniquity, because this is what they do. They whet their tongues with sharp swords, okay? This is how they get down. They put and they think in these secret councils, in these think tanks 5, 10, 15 years down the line, okay? And then when they bring forfeit, they expect no one to be what? Aware of what's going on, because why? They give you things like P. Diddy pulling Cassidy across the hallway to distract you. They give you sports venues to watch, like the NBA Finals, the NBA playoffs, okay? They give you music entertainers to dance and sing in front of you to keep you occupied, so that you don't have the wherewithal to know exactly what they have going and coming down the pipe, okay? They want to keep you, preoccupied with things that don't, have your best interests at heart, okay? Like these prophecies. These prophecies, if you are in them, you're going to be aware through what? The wisdom and knowledge and stability, okay? Because it's going to keep you stable in the times that's coming ahead, all right?
He said adequate financing is critical, and he proposed to issue long-term euro bonds for financing the migration crisis and the migrants' social and welfare taking care when they arrive to the European Union. And another point which is very important for Hungary, which is involving the territory of Hungary directly into this program, he said that, quoting them, safe channels must be established for asylum seekers, starting with getting them from Greece and Italy to their destination countries, which means to bring them to Greece, to Hungary, and then have them to go to Austria. So don't forget that what we are speaking about is not an accidental stories, not a bulk of.
And yes, they are in their prospective countries, and they already here in the America, particularly Babylon the Great, okay? They came through with those migrants coming in through that planned border crisis incident. You seen them be set up in New York in those asylums. So they already here. And as this video goes on to play, we're going to see what for.
10 years of accidental story. It's a plan which is going on. It was written. It was published. It's known. So we are fighting again an organized gang called Empire of George Soros and NGOs who are just supporting everybody who is transgressing our legal system and our regulation and financing illegal activity against our nation. So this is why the story is not just about migration, but it's about how this European Union is working and how George Soros was able to captive the main positions inside many institutions of European Union, buying out MPs and other leaders, and in order to execute the plan which is written, and it's against all the Christian and nation-based political forces. It's against us. It's about how to change Europe and how to eliminate and push aside all the Christian, conservative, national-based political leaders and voters from the European Union decision-making bodies. So this is the migration about, not just about migration. Sorry for it.
Modern food science has literally created thousands of artificial chemical ingredients that never existed before.
Viktor Orban. That's why they don't like him. But wait, there's more. A new report from UK's Jim Ferguson shed light on what's really going on. Spoiler alert, it's not pretty. As Jim Ferguson exposed in this interview, they're actually United Nations trained army soldiers being paid and delivered by the United Nations. Now, Greg Reese did a great job clipping this soundbite together. I encourage you to watch the whole thing, but here are some unbelievable takeaways from Jim's interview, and here's just a highlight. Take a look.
This isn't normal. There's something not right. This isn't just refugees coming in. These aren't people fleeing from some kind of war zone. These are predominantly men.
Now, this is the plan, okay? This is the plan why they bringing these migrants in, okay? And you look and see, you don't see any of them out of shape. You don't see any of them with, families. They come in here alone by themselves, and as he goes into it, they're of military age. They're fit. They're ready for, what it is that they was brought over here for, okay? Plain and simple, all right? When something like that cyber attack take place, they're going to already be here in position to, bring authority to the people when they get out of line, okay? So the elite is already putting their pieces into place right now, okay? While you people out and about, going about your way, partying, drinking, having a good time, the elite is putting this thing into place, okay? So enjoy your time while you have it, okay? Because once the lights go out, you're going to try to buck up against the system, and they're going to already have that already situated and sorted out with these troops on deck.
Age between 25 and 35, young fighting age men, as my old boss Nigel Farage once referred to them, and I think he's right. John, what do you think's going on here?
Let's rewind that back a little bit.
Watch the whole thing, but here are some unbelievable takeaways from Jim's interview, and here's just a highlight. Take a look.
This isn't normal. There's something not right. This isn't just refugees coming in. These aren't people fleeing from some kind of war zone. These are predominantly men aged between 25 and 35, young fighting age men, as my old boss Nigel Farage once referred to them, and I think he's right. John, what do you think's going on here, mate?
So I can tell you these are UN soldiers and they will be deployed by the WHO when they announce the next pandemic lockdown. That's what's going to happen. They've been trained by British soldiers. They've been trained by the Black Watch Regiment. They were training them in Antalya in Turkey and in the east of Ukraine. They're predominantly down to sergeant ranks. They're then shipped to France. They all sign the Official Secrets Act. Then they're ferried over. If you were fleeing war and tyranny, I don't know about you, but I would certainly take my wife and children with me. They're most precious. They're my prized asset. You know, they're everything to me. If you're going to war, you go to war with the lads. They're going to be deployed. They will be deployed.
John, I mean, you say you spoke to people in the Black Watch. I mean, the Black Watch, a very famous, regiment.
Yes.
Are they actually going along with this?
They've got no choice. Well, I kind of said, why are you doing it? And he said, soldiers follow orders. What you're going to see is the following. We'll have a minister somewhere in cabinets suddenly come up with a great idea on how we're going to get these guys to contribute to help us. And they're going to put them in uniforms. So a couple of people have told me these uniforms are burgundy. Others have told me they're UN blue. I really don't know. I guess we'll see when they deploy them. They are going to be deployed because otherwise, if they announced another lockdown, what would everyone say? They'd say bollocks, and they'd go about their business, wouldn't they? They're going to need armed young men in uniform to try and enforce it. Why do they import young men from the East? Because traditionally, if you want to kill and tyrannize white people, you put black soldiers in, because there's a cultural disassociation, and that's their method. That's the way these globalists are going to do it.
In America, when it was a colony of the United Kingdom, of Britain, there was a revolution against British colonial rule.
That's right.
A lot of people didn't realise, but it was only 3% of those people in America that overthrew the British forces and basically got rid of them. 3% of the population, John.
I look forward to it. I'm ready. I can't wait because I know it's going to be the beginning of the end for them. I do foresee victory. I see that at very great cost. But we will see it. And I think the world will become closer than ever when we do see victory. It's going to come on the back of a load of bloodshed. And unfortunately, it has to. Once people of all colours come together and recognise their common enemy, we'll war.
Now, it will come on the back of a lot of blood being shed, but there will be no victory. I can assure you that. Okay, there will be no victory. All right? And you see, they are here for the next, chaos, okay? When this place gets locked down, okay? When there's riots that's ensuing, okay? When you can't get water and you are running wild, okay? They are here. They already here. They just waiting to get the word, okay?
Walk over these people in 10 minutes.
I hope so.
That's literally the story of FN 2187, who's taken from his home planet from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Young black kid.
Finn becomes a
taken from his
stormtrooper.
planet to be a stormtrooper,
Right.
to be a United Nations soldier.
Now here it is, you got this haughty, prideful woman, mocking and making fun, okay? But that's to be expected because right now she's in a lofty position, where there's presumably no danger at hand, okay? But once this place is under complete turmoil and, darkness, we're going to see that mirth be wiped off the face of a lot of people, especially ones like her, okay? So as it says, the Most High is not a man that he should lie, okay? And also Galatians 6:7, for whatso a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Okay? So, hey, get your giggles in, your laughs in, and what have you, because you got to understand the Most High is in control, okay? He is in control of the king's heart, the king's mind, okay? So although you want to associate it with a Star Wars movie and what have you, however you want to go about, okay, you cannot and I repeat, cannot detour the words of the Most High, okay? He said it himself. His word will not come back void. So you mock, you make fun, you do whatever, okay? All we need you is to report the news, okay? You could keep your, your thoughts to yourself, but this is what it is. This is where we at.
An
Did anyone else get that?
An Empire
That's the
stormtrooper.
backstory of Finn from Star Wars.
But I'm really struck by something Jim said there. I mean, the 3%, that's all it took to overthrow. 3%. So when you have 3% of a population that is an UN-backed, or when Biden has let in now estimates of 30 million illegal immigrants into the United States in these few years, that's way more than 3%.
Yes.
That's way more than 3% that it would take to overthrow the United States. And these people are inside the United States. I mean, they're flooding the country with unvetted foreigners, distributing them all over the country, even providing them homes, financial support. Some say it's about election fraud, but it goes much deeper than that. It's a much bigger plan, and the United Nations is absolutely complicit in it. Todd Bensman, in a 2022 interview that I had archived, had this U.S.-bound Haitian in Mexico. He interviewed him, where he complains that the United States failed to make its payment on his UN credit card that he was given.
It works. We don't have money, and they haven't deposited to my account.
So they giving these individuals, money on their credit cards. And this one right here, you're gonna see that he has a UN credit card. So they already paying these military age men money, okay? They're housing them, they're paying them, they putting them on, they're putting them on the boards, okay? So this thing is serious, all right? Laugh now, cry later, okay? This is how it gets down. They are being paid, okay? They just have to be quiet and keep cool and out of sight until it's time.
El depósito el 7 de enero a 14 de enero, pero no deposita nada. Yeah? So the whole month of January you haven't received anything.
What were they supposed to receive in there?
¿Cuánto es lo que te dan? Es el último pago. ¿Cuánto fue? 4 el dinero, 3,600 pesos.
I believe this is a so-called Haitian man who speaks Spanish, and he's just elaborating on the money they were supposed to pay for him, okay? So, this is just showing you that these other nations that's coming over along with the Northern Kingdom and some Southern Kingdom, they're getting compensated and paid as well. And this is how.
3,600 pesos was the last payment I received.
And
it
it goes.
I haven't received it.
Does that go into your bank account?
¿A dónde va? ¿Tienes una cuenta? ¿Una tarjeta? Sí. ¿Tienes?
Oh, let me see.
There it is. That's their pay. That's their rations that they're getting paid, okay? They'll hold them over until the chaos ensues, okay? Make no mistake about it. They're going to get that mark as well, okay? So you seeing the works being put into place right here before your eyes. This is the card. This is the UN card.
And how much is anything on that card now at all? Any money?
¿Tiene dinero? No, no hay dinero. No hay nada. No depositan nada.
An award-winning trading app that is as easy to set up as your favorite playlist. Voted most popular broker.
So just to get a closer look up here, take a closer look at that UN bank card, United Nations bank card. Unbelievable. Now, if you need any more evidence of this, just look at Gaza. This might be a hard pill for some people to swallow, but the United Nations has been captured on video.
Showing you that what? They all are complicit, okay? They feeding you that nonsense that is division amongst these two fighting over there when it's all being set up to bring forth this new world agenda, okay? Everything you seeing is a smoke screen. This is all part of their elaborate scheme to bring forth this mark, okay? To allow this, this plan to inevitably happen, okay? And like we said, this is all the Most High using them, okay? This is how asleep the people are to believe that these two individuals who are potentially the same, people, just with different names. One is the Palestinian, one is the Israelis, but it's probable cause that they're both Edomites, okay? Now there might be some, real people of the land, but for the most part, it's talks that they're both one and the same, okay? So this is showing you the complicity of the whole thing, man. They got it on camera, the UN. I'm just let it play for yourself so you can see it.
On video footage, coordinating with Hamas soldiers, as you can see here. So these are UN vehicles at UN headquarters. Drone recently captured footage of Hamas with these UN personnel transporting themselves in UN vehicles. And they're using United Nations buildings for the sake of hiding and staging attacks against Israel. Hamas, of course, was created by Israel, as Netanyahu openly has admitted. That's well established now. And they're armed by...
Now you heard that? It was created by the same individuals.
The United States. That's well established. Hamas, of course, was created by Israel, as Netanyahu openly has admitted. That's well established now. And they're armed by the United States. That's well established. So they pretend that they don't know what they're up to. It's a total lie. 2.4 million Palestinians are now being moved out of Gaza, being told to funnel into the center so they can be put on a UN-backed pier that's being built, that they'll be shipped out of Palestinian territory, and they'll be distributed all over the United States and all throughout Europe. Of course, they will not live in Gaza really ever again. That's the plan. That's the United Nations plan. That's exactly what Israel and the United States wants, and that's the distribution plan into the United States. So that, of course, Israel can take the oil and take the land, build a modern-day Dubai in Gaza, as we have well established. And the U.S. has already openly said this. The Biden administration has laid out this plan to have Palestinians moved to Western countries, like the United States. So you need the United Nations to work hand-in-hand with Hamas to stir things up. That's how this works. It's unbelievable. We're going to have J.J. Carroll. He's just back from Chicago on an unbelievable fact-finding.
So they're pretty much through with the United States. They have no more use. Speaking of the elite, they've used United States pretty much as they can. They getting ready to pull the plug on this place, okay? They getting ready to pull the plug on this place, and the people that's here, so well, okay, so be it, okay? That's how they looking at it. You already useless eaters as it is. You just consume, okay? They're going to bring forth that digital currency that's going to lead to the mark. And then next thing you know, that's it, okay? They already know the prophecy. They know it's written. You had the lady trying to mock, saying that's literally the story from Star Wars. Because why? These people who create these movies, they read the Bible, okay? They know. Your George Lucases, your Steven Spielbergs, they know, okay? So, of course, you're going to see similarities, all right? So, the writing is on the wall for this place, Babylon, which is America, okay? They're getting ready to do away with this, okay? Don't be surprised if the election don't actually go through, okay? Don't be surprised, all right? So, this is what it is. Let's get a few scriptures and let's play the last video afterwards. All right, this is the book of St. Mark, chapter 3 and verse 24. It says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And you seeing that across the boards, okay? Not just here in America, but in Europe as well, okay? You seeing the people, they are not against these migrants coming in and, getting rewarded, giving this money, and they already know something's up, okay? It says, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand, okay? That's why this place is getting ready to fall, okay? Because the division is great, okay? Everything is put into position for this place to take that downfall, okay? And once it does, the people are going to be caught off guard. Why? Because they are too carried away and enamored with the cares of this world. All right, it says, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but have an end. And the end of this empire is at hand, okay? This Roman Empire, this beast empire, revive is at hand. It's coming to an end, okay? Yahweh Shai is on his way back, all right? He's coming back to take the crowns of these kings, okay? Now, this is St. Matthew, or let's go to St. Luke 17 and verse 26, and it says, and as it was in the days of Noe, which is Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noe entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. You see? And that's how it is right now. You got our people that's fast asleep, that don't want to take heed to the warning, and continue to go on about their ways, that don't think that there's anything that's ever going to happen to America. America is the safest place to be in the world. Little do they know, the elite is putting these pieces in place for this place to be destroyed, okay? But ultimately, it's Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai that's allowing them to do this, okay? So you seeing everything that you thought was what it was isn't, because why? We read it. There's nothing that's secret that should not be made manifest, okay? So all their works are coming to light in these last days, all right? Showing you that what? This place is ready to be, judged. This place is ready to be a wrap, okay? It's finished, all right? There's not much more left that, you can expect to hope for in this place, all right? We are indeed in those last days, okay? You seeing the pieces being put into place, okay? You seeing the wars and rumors of wars. You seeing the cyber attacks, allegedly by those three countries, their gangs, are threatening to attack the water supply, the drinking water supply of America, okay? Not just, the reclaimed water, but the drinking water. Okay, that's the essential. All right. And if people can't get drinking water, just imagine how much chaos is going to ensue. Okay, which is why you're going to need those troops on the ground, especially in these large cities, just in general. Okay, because they don't have the people that's in these cities. They don't have access to drinking wells. They got to get their water from the grocery stores, okay? So everything is being put into place for this place to, be in utter darkness, turmoil, okay? It's just a matter of time, all right? And when it hits, it's going to be dramatic, okay? Make no mistake about it. When this thing hits, it's going to be dramatic, And we seeing signs, okay? Which is going to be the last video that we play. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and cue that up.
First, though, the effort to clean up and take care of those in need. We have team coverage for you tonight. Domley Keith is in Northwest Harris County, where dozens of volunteers are trying to help.
But we begin with Fox's Joy Addison in the Heights. Joy.
Well, Caroline and Rashi, that storm did not last long, but the damage is extensive. Neighborhoods like here in the Houston Heights were hit pretty hard. I'm going to step to the side where you can see this here behind me. A large tree is still in this yard. There are several homes just like this all across the Houston area. Cleanup is still underway. People like in this home here behind me still don't have power, and we're now dealing with scorching temperatures. Just under 200,000 customers are still without power here in Houston and over the weekend.
Wow, 200,000 customers, man. Hey, it's going to be on a larger scale than that once the lights go out here in Babylon the Great. But this is just showing you, man, judgment is getting ready to come.
We saw temperatures surge into the 90s, causing a higher than normal heat-related 911 call volume. CenterPoint Energy has nearly 7,000 workers in impacted areas, but 56 schools remain without power.
And if that solar flare come back up, or one in the future comes back up and knock things offline like this, hey, man, it's going to Babylon is through, man. America is finished. Cause it's its whole survival relies on technology, okay? Which is its satellites. And once those are knocked offline, that's it. That's why they can be vulnerable to cyber attacks. That's why they're vulnerable to, earthquakes and things of that magnitude in diverse places, okay? Because it's more impactful now because of the technology, okay? So you see 200,000 people without power because of this storm. Imagine when the real storm comes. It's going to be a lot more worse than this.
I would like some answers as far as how long it's going to be. If maybe we need to make plans to actually leave the area for a while.
The massive power outage has caused several other safety concerns, and the mayor says 15 people have been arrested for burglary. Also, one person has died from carbon monoxide after using a generator in their home. People here are asked to avoid driving around town unless necessary because of a large number of traffic.
It's going to be worse than that across. It's going to be worse than that across America once the elite actually pull the plug on this place, man. Hey, man, you seeing it right now. You seeing a small sample size of it. You seen the dude ask, I wonder if we should leave this place now. Okay? It says that man wanting to go into another town. Okay? But nah, you're not going to be able to if you don't have that mark. People, what did the lady say? Breaking in houses, it's going to be worse than that. Okay? When all hell breaks loose, it's going to be worse than this. Power outages, short circuit, cybersecurity, you name it, okay? Everything is on the table for this place to fall, okay? You name it. The dollar crashing, cybersecurity attacks, power outages, you name it. There's nothing that's not on the table that can be used for this place to be, finished with. Speaking of America, Babylon the Great.
Lights still being out and causing accidents, and a large portion of the downtown area is blocked off to protect people from glass on the streets after winds and high-rise buildings shattered from those high winds.
We were not giving planned notice for this storm, but it's a severe storm. Downtown Houston, we have an exclusive area that you cannot go to work in. City employees should not go to work unless they're essential tier.
Hey, and the storm that's coming, the people are given a warning right now, but they're not taking heed. So then when it happens, they're going to think to themselves, we weren't given sufficient enough time to know these things. No, you were, but you were too enamored with the ways of this world to take heed, okay? So you have your time right now, and the alarm is being sound that there's a storm coming, but you don't want to take heed, okay? We read it as in the days of Noah. Okay, they were marrying and drinking. That's what the people are doing right now. They're not taking heed to the storm, to the warnings of the storm that's coming.
One category that's going to help us with our public safety.
And Centerpoint Energy says it's projected to have power restored in the Houston area by Wednesday.
All right, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1, and it reads, And he answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made it. So the Most High is visiting this place. That's why you continuing to see these earthquakes, these uproars, these tornadoes, these thunderstorms. Look at this thunderstorm right here that took place, okay? This is not a normal size thunderstorm. This thunderstorm impacted over 200,000 businesses, okay, and people, all right? This is showing you that the Most High is getting ready to visit this place, okay? He's getting ready to bring judgment on this place, all right? And there were people that, perished through this storm as well. Okay, it says verse 3, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes, okay, and you could best believe that when this thunderstorm touched down that it was shaking, okay? It was shaking the place like an earthquake, all right? It said in uproars of the people in the world, okay? And you're going to see more than that once this incident take place. It's going to be uproars, okay? That's why these troops are being put throughout, parts of America and throughout Europe, all right? Because they are putting these people in position for the inevitable. They already know what's coming. Sedition amongst men, all right? So it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Right, and knowing that the Most High is getting ready to judge this place, what manner of people are we to be? Holiness in all holy conversation, okay? So we got to be on point, knowing that, hey, this place is getting ready to be judged, okay? It's getting ready to go into darkness, and if you ain't right with the Most High, hey, judgment is coming, man. I don't know how to say it any more simpler than that. If you ain't right, get right. Repent while there's still time, okay? This is Malachi 6. Slakia. Micah 6 in verse 8. It says, he have showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doeth Yahweh require of thee? So, we seeing it, okay? The Most High is showing us. And what does he require? It says, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy power. Okay? So the Most High is showing us mercy. This is the time that we have to get it in. Okay? This is the time where we have to repent. Don't wait. Okay, don't put it off, all right? Because you're not going to know when it comes. It's just going to come, all right? One day you're going to wake up, the markets are going to have crashed. Your banking accounts is going to be wiped out. Just speculating, because you can't put nothing past this man. Like we said, everything is on the table. A cybersecurity attack, a wipeout of the banking financial institute, a plague of this magnitude, natural disaster, everything is on the table. So you have to be prepared, through this grace period, through this mercy that the Most High is showing us. It says, he have showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doeth Yahweh require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy power. Okay? So that's why we doing what we have to do, okay? Because we want to receive that mercy. We want to be, under the Most High feathers. We want that hedge, that protection when he brings judgment on this place, okay? This is Ecclesiasticus, and then we're going to probably close out after this one. One more in 1 Peter, then we're going to probably close out. This is Ecclesiasticus, Ecclesiasticus. Chapter 5 and verse 7, it says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. So don't keep putting it off, okay? You're not going to keep getting these warnings, and these, heads up. It's going to come a time where the light's going to go off, the mirth is going to be taken from out of the land, and you're going to be left to find out for yourself, okay? And that's going to be a hard way to have to find out. So it says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, okay? Don't keep thinking that you got the next day to put it off, that you're going to get it right, tomorrow. It says what? For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed. Right, and your security thinking that you got to the next day, you're going to get it right. You just want to go out and have that one last, sinful act, and then you're going to repent. Hey, and your security thinking that you got the next day, what's going to happen? It says, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed. and perish in the day of vengeance, right? Because the Most High is not playing, okay? He's coming with vengeance, all right? And if you ain't on the right side, you're going to feel the full wrath. So, this is the time, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans that you got to get right, to repent, okay? While the window of mercy is still open, okay? While you still have that grace period. Because once the word is drawn in, that's it. That's it for you, okay? Either you got it or you don't, all right? And if you don't, it's going to show. All right, Esau Edom gonna get loose on you, man. Okay, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, if you ain't got that protection, that hedge, he gonna get what on you. All right. So let's close out with 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. And it reads, be sober, be vigilant. Okay, that's the main thing we driving home. Continue to watch. Don't fall back into the ways of this world. Don't get drunk off the philosophies. Don't start doubting yourself, thinking that these ain't gonna happen. No, continue to be sober. Continue to be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And if you're not under that protection, that hedge, those feathers of the Most High, you are going to get devoured. Plain and simple. All right. No one is making it out of Babylon, Babylon the Great alive outside of the elect. Okay. If you're not part of the elect, you're not coming out of Babylon the Great alive. Okay. You're going to be part of that sacrifice that's going to be put on that altar. Okay. So, continue to be sober and be vigilant and watch, and until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, hey, we're going to keep it going. All right. So with that being said, I pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom. Peace.